and welcome to day 2 of the 2024 Engine Performance Expo. I'm Joe Castello along with Lake Speed Jr., Dennis Borem, joining us here at the start of the show as we kick off another day of high-speed information technology about the engine trade. We had a great day yesterday, Lake, but day number 2, it's going to blow it out of the water.
Absolutely. Just keep it higher and higher level. It's a beautiful day here today, East Tennessee. Off-season time. And, last night, Project Pontiac was standing up here, and the guys have been doing some work. It's laid down here. It's still at S69, but it's going to get at H85. It's going to get honed later today, because we got to do for you what this guy did for me and my dad, right? Because if you were watching last year, if you haven't watched last year, later today, after you finish hanging out with us today, you should go back and watch some episodes from last year, because we took that old 20-year-old Ford NASCAR engine and, man, you put the tune-up to it.
That's right, brought it to life.
So it was, when we first dynoed it, remember we had been sitting for 20 years and it had run and overheated a little bit, and we did figure out why it overheated eventually.
Yes.
But it was down like a lot. It made like 470-ish.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
But once you worked on it.
Yeah, got it to where better than what we thought, I think.
792 is the last number I remember.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big jump right there.
I
hope we can duplicate that kind of increase.
That's right.
With the old Project Pontiac. But really, watching that process and now trying to duplicate something similar, we kind of deviated because our block was broken and we couldn't just do the apples to apples comparison. Right. But it's so much bigger than just building an engine, right? Like, everybody's interested. Everybody wants to see and hear, and that story and that video does so well of watching the arc of what it was to what it became.
Well, we want to do for you what Dennis made possible for me and my dad, is to take that old car and be able to get that engine fixed back up. And that whole process by itself was so much fun. Working with the guys at Comp and at Edelbrock and all the guys in your shop, CP, and everybody that was involved to take that old engine that looked like it was going to be a boat anchor, and then almost make 800 horsepower. I wanted 800 so bad to come 8 horsepower short of 800. Is like, there's got to be something left. But it was so incredible to do that, and then to go put it in the race car and go to the racetrack and hear that thing run again and see the smile on Dad's face. Yeah. It was pretty incredible. So I'm hoping we get to do the same thing for you.
That's the plan, and we're working on it, and the smile on Dad's face. Like, there's nothing better than that, because he's the one who got you into this world, and everybody that you communicate with, touch with your passion for oil, for engines, it's all his fault or responsibility, one way or another, good or bad.
Well,
right? Mr. Lake
especially sweet to me that this guy was building engines for my dad in his career. Yes. So that it's not like, okay, well, it's somebody else adjacent. It's like, no, this is full circle coming right back around.
No, it's pretty special right there.
Yeah.
And to work with everybody, I think we all learned something from it about people and what we're doing. So that the experience gained from it was great. And I think you had the same thing in this, all the people coming together to do it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Pretty awesome.
Humbling. It's certainly been humbling, and watching this thing go. Saw Dave last night in the restaurant, and he's like telling me about different issues, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like, all of this is right. I have put this upon people, but not really. And he was just so excited about it. So we're going to keep progressing throughout the day on Project Pontiac. We're going to meet some celebrity guests. We're going to talk some technology, and we're going to just kind of keep up with the entire process throughout the day.
Well, you just kind of mentioned something that everyone comes together and contributes, but that's what the Expo is all about. It's all of these people coming together, sharing what they know, and we all benefit from that exchange of ideas through the Engine Performance Expo, which is what makes this event so special. Which is, I'm glad you tuned in. I'm glad you're watching. Again, come hang out with us. It's going to be fantastic all day. But to start off the day, let's go watch this video of my dad getting back on the racetrack.
If you went back and watched a NASCAR race from the glory days of the late 1980s, Lake Speed is a name that you would see. Lake was a regular in the Winston Cup Series for over 20 years. Prior to that, he was a world champion go-kart racer. In 1986, he built a shop in his backyard and started his own race team. As you've seen on this channel before, we showed you his entire race shop. That's still in his backyard, where he has 2 cars left and 2 engines. They have not been touched in 20 years. He made us a deal. He said, you know what, you take that engine, get it freshened up, make it make some more power, put it back in the car and I'll drive it again. And he's 75 years old. So we took it over to Dennis Borem at Pro Motor Engines. Dennis has been building NASCAR engines for over 30 years. Over the last several months, we have been all over the country, documenting, sourcing, and explaining the parts that we've used to freshen this 20-year-old engine time capsule of NASCAR technology up to some more modern stuff without changing the bones of the engine. It's still the same block, the same heads, the same crankshaft, the same rods. It has new pistons with a modern design, a new camshaft with modern design, and a very specific cylinder wall hone and ring package of modern specs. We're here to blend nostalgia with technology and get a legendary racing driver back in the seat of one of his favorite race cars. All
right, Joe. Been 20 years. You got about 100 more horsepower than you ever had before. About 20 more years experience for me. You've been a good old boy. You've been close so many times. Can't wait, Father. Can't wait to put you on the racetrack again and let you show me what you got. You got special tires, some Goodyear, new camshaft, you got new pistons, piston rings, the latest and greatest of everything, Trek oil pan. You got some special fuel for you. Gonna taste good, you're gonna like it. Got some slick oil that's so slippery you won't even know you're running. Been my favorite race car, always has been. I hope you're ready, because I am.
Did you have a talk with Job this time when nobody was around?
No, after the last trip talking to Job, Job owes me one now.
Back to the track, and you could just see that great energy, the emotion. Yeah, it was a lot of work, and there's some numbers, and you made X amount of horsepower, but it wasn't anything about that. It was about seeing your dad get back in that race car.
It was awesome. Every time I watch that video, the hair stand up in my arm. The sound of that engine and him going through the gear shifters at that racetrack, whew, it was something else. It was awesome. It was a lot of hard work. There were so many people, like you were saying yesterday, feeling like the driver of the race, trying to remember all the sponsors.
Yes. What a day, what a day, what a day. My brain is swollen. I've learned so much today. They told us, don't start cars. We are not going to listen.